Today's bedtime story, Tim's train set. Tim had been saving up for weeks. All his pocket money had gone into a little box, which he kept in a very secret place. Nobody could talk him into spending any of it. He loved sweets, crisps, and ice cream, but he wouldn't buy any. He was saving his money. He was saving up for Christmas. This year, he told himself he would buy presents for everybody that would really take them by surprise. Dad, Mom, Zoe, Kevin, their eyes would pop out when they saw the presents he had bought for them. All that was before he walked past the window of the big toy shop. There, at the center of the display, was a beautiful train set complete with red engine, tender, passenger, and milk coaches, and a guard's van. There was a signal box, a station, and of course rails. But it was the big, beautiful red engine that really caught Tim's attention. He had never seen anything like it. It was just what he'd hoped for all his life, and more. He couldn't bear the thought that somebody else might buy it. He really, really wanted it. But where could he get the money from? He hadn't any money, or had he? Suddenly, he thought of his savings box in the secret place and the money that was inside it. He hurried home and went straight to that secret place. He opened the box. He poured the money out on the floor. What a heap! He had saved more than he had thought. He began to count it. Guess what? There was just enough to buy that train set. Trying not to think about anything else, he ran back to the toy shop. Fantastic! It was still in the window. No one had bought it. And there it was, red engine, tender, passenger, and milk coaches. Station, the lot. Tim went inside the shop and found the counter in front of the train sets. I want a train set like the one in the shop window, he said. It's very expensive, said the lady assistant, giving Tim a second look. Have you got enough money? Oh, yes, said Tim proudly. I've got stacks of money. I've been saving up for weeks and weeks. All right, said the lady. I'll put it in a box and wrap it for you. Thanks, said Tim, pouring the money onto the counter from the paper bag he had brought it in. He could hardly wait to get his hands on that train set, and then, best of all, to set it up at home and see it working. When the parcel had been wrapped, the lady handed it to him. It was his. He hurried home, opened the parcel, and set up the train set on the floor of his bedroom. Soon, the red engine was running around the track, past the signal box, past the station. Then Mom came in. Hey, she exclaimed, where do you get that from? This is my new train set, said Tim, picking the engine up from the track. Its wheels still spinning. Watch how fast it goes. Isn't it great? Did somebody give it to you? No, I bought it. Bought it? Cried Mom. I thought you were saving up for Christmas. I was, muttered Tim, but silence fell and so did Tim's face. Then it hit him. He didn't have any money for the Christmas presents he planned to buy. Mom, a wise look in her eye, left the room without another word. All alone, Tim started to think it over. He thought of Christmas morning, Mom, Dad, Zoe, and Kevin. They would be opening Christmas presents from everyone else except him. All of a sudden, he felt horribly mean. He left the train set and walked over to the window. If only he hadn't bought the train set. What could he do now? There was no time to save up again. Maybe the lady at the shop would take the train set back. He packed everything back into the box, red engine, tender, passenger, milk coaches, station, all of it. Back he went to the big shop, but the lady would not take it back. She thought Tim must have broken something. Tim was in a panic. What could he do now? Would anyone buy it? Who? He asked around among his friends, but no one had enough money. Everyone was saving up to buy Christmas presents too. Then he had a bright idea. Why not try Uncle Sam? Uncle Sam had always been good to him. Tim walked over to Uncle Sam's house, the box under his arm. Uncle Sam, he said, his eyes cast down. Would you like to buy a train? Uncle Sam roared with laughter. No, he didn't want to buy a train, certainly not just before Christmas. Smiling shyly, Tim said, I mean a toy train. Oh, a toy one, said Uncle Sam. That's different. Let's have a look at it. Tim opened the box as Uncle Sam looked everything over. Tim explained all about it and why he needed the money back. All right, I'll buy it from you, said Uncle Sam, giving him the money. Tim was so thrilled, he ran all the way home. He had his money back, all of it. Without further delay, he went to town and bought the presents he had planned for Mom, Dad, Zoe, and Kevin. And Uncle Sam, of course. Now that he had been so kind, on the way back home, he felt so much better. In fact, he thought he had never been this happy before in his life. When Christmas morning came, that was the best of all. Everyone was so pleased with their presents. Tim knew he'd done the right thing. And no, in case you're wondering, Tim didn't find a box with the train set in among his presents. Funny thing though, months later, when Tim's birthday came round, the postman brought a parcel with a familiar size and shape. The handwriting on the label was Uncle Sam's for sure. Maybe you can guess what was inside. The end. Comment down what lesson does this story teaches you. Good night.